need your simplicity pattern, which I showed you in the beginning. I'm going to, I've already cut my pieces out. So you're going to need pattern piece 5. You're going to need pattern piece 4, pattern piece 2, and pattern piece 1. So yeah, a little problem. I lost my pattern piece 1, which is the front side of the pants, and I started doing these pants with some other fabric. So I'm just going to use this for my first pattern piece, or my pattern piece number 1, because I don't know what I did with the pattern piece. It's folded up, tucked away somewhere, and why do I have all the rest of the pieces and not that one? I have no idea. So I'm just going to have to improvise. So I cut mine out. I cut out size 4. I might have cut out size 6. One of the two. I forgot 4 or 6. This would probably have been easier. Okay, I cut out size 4. So make sure you cut out your right size. And we're about to lay the pieces. So you want to make sure that, for one, you flip this to the wrong side of your fabric, meaning the side that would be on the inside. So you want to open this up. Mine has a little stretch to it, a lot more stretch than I thought, actually. And you're gonna fold it so that you're looking at the inside of the fabric, and also that means your right side is touching, meaning the right side of your fabric are touching each other on the inside like a sandwich. So I think I have enough of this fabric. I hope so, because I just had this fabric already, so, or I bought it because it was cute, and then I was like, oh, I can use it for this. You're going to need like weights. I'll show you everything you need as I pull them from up under here. Of course, you're going to need scissors. You're going to need scissors for your fabric, and then scissors to cut out your pattern. You don't want to cut out your pattern with your fabric scissors. You will mess them up. Have like 4 weights. And you also want a piece of chalk, or my chalk is little. I lose my chalk all the time. I have a bigger one somewhere. You don't need that. You will need a zipper. It says get a 9-inch zipper, so I would get a 9-inch, but I only had a 7-inch in my little stash, so that's what I'm gonna use. And there was one more thing under here, which I guess I'll find it later, but I have 2 of them. This is a fabric pencil, so one side is disappearing ink, one side is marked be gone. You can use this or chalk. Typically, once I've lost my chalk, I'll just use this. And it depends on the color of your fabric. Like if you have white, clearly you can't use a white chalk. So you want to be sure that you spread this out. Make sure it's even. So you have a folded side, and then you have a salvage side, meaning like it's open. All right, so I am going to make sure I'm working on my folded side, because there is one piece here that needs to be on the fold. So if you look at piece number 4, it has here center fold, meaning this piece needs to be on the fold. So when you cut it out and you open it, it's a longer piece. this fabric is pretty slick, so my weights will help me out when it comes to trying to have some of it hanging off. Sorry guys, I'm about to straighten up my fabric because it's not even, and I don't want it not even. All right, got it. So I'm gonna toss all of my pieces up here. Make sure I'm gonna have enough room. So remember, your 4 goes on the fold. So I'm gonna make sure that I have this like on the fold. Your 5 piece is not on the fold, and neither one of your pants pieces have to be on the fold. I really wish I could find my other pattern piece. I can't, so whatever, I'll just still have to use this. And as long as you got the right amount that's on the back of the pattern, so like when you go buy this pattern, you need to look on the back and make sure you buy the right amount. Like I did a size 4, so we're doing pants. I'm doing pants B because I'm not gonna do the tie, just mostly because I'm being lazy. So I'm gonna do B. So if you look, it says 4, and for pants B, I needed 2 1/4 pattern. So if you go to the fabric store, you find this pattern 1069. You go up to the lady like, hey, I need 2 1/4 of this pattern. Fabric. She will cut it out for you. So that's all you need to do. Okay, so I'm gonna place that down there. I'm gonna place my 4 more towards the end, and then my 5 here, so I can kind of scoot my 2 over and get my 1 in as well. All right, so now I threw everything on the floor. Hands on pieces. All right, so you're gonna use whatever you're using to trace out. You're gonna trace your pattern out. Make sure you use your weights to weigh down your pattern so it doesn't move. Your weights can basically be anything that you think would do a good job at weighing down your pattern. I switched over to my pencil because white chalk was not working on my yellow. Also, there are triangles on the edge of your pattern. What you want to do is go in and put a dash where these triangles are, because we're going to cut a slit where those are, because because it will help us match the other side of our pattern. So on 2, I see 1, 2, 3 4s, like 2 triangles side by side, 5 triangles, and also I have 5 little slits for that one. The other one, I guess that was gonna be kind of hard because I don't think I cut my slits out yet on this one. Whoops. So I don't know, maybe I won't go through the slits or the markings for this one since I don't have my whole pattern. Guess I could go out and buy another one for the sake of the video, but that's more money that I don't want to spend. And we can still make it without the triangle mark, so not a big deal. I'm walking all over the camera. Alright, so I think I got it. Alright, so for your front and your back piece you have darts. Your front piece you have pleats. So what you want to do is you make sure where you see these darts, and let me see if I can get closer. Okay, well, that worked out perfectly. All right, so you see these are your darts, and I did a size 4. So I'm gonna mark my size 4 line up here, and then I'm gonna mark the other size 4 line right here. And then I'm gonna fold my pattern down to the dot. So you see these dots right here, you're gonna fold it down. Remember, my dot is the first one. So look to see whether your dot is 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So mine is right here and it's 4, so I'm gonna place a dot here. And then I'm gonna get my ruler. So you're going to need a ruler. And I'm gonna go from this dot that I made to the line that I made up here. And I'm gonna draw a line because as you can tell from the pattern, you're basically making a V. Now I'm gonna do the same thing for the other line. And you're gonna make your V. And you're going to have to transfer this to the other side, because don't forget this fabric is folded, so you have 2 sides. All right, so when we cut it out, we will do the same thing to the other side. Same for this one. Now you can't see this one. All right, so you're gonna basically do the same thing on this side. When you look at your pattern, you're gonna have 4 lines. So you're gonna mark each line, which you can't see my line on here, but they're blue, I can see them. You're gonna mark your 4 lines up here at the top, and then you're gonna do the same thing, fold it down to the dots, which, okay, now I'm having a hard time with this part. And I lost one of my lines. Okay, this purple on this purple isn't really working. 2, 3, 4. And this one's disappearing. Ink and is disappearing pretty fast on this one for whatever reason. Maybe it's the type of fabric that I have. All right, so I'm going to put my ruler right here and fold it. That way I know where my dot stops. All right, and so then I'm going to put a dot here. So wherever you see your dots at on yours, I'm having to improvise because can't keep up with pattern pieces. All right, and then you're gonna go from your dots to your line and connect with your ruler. Like my dot and my line is all off. I don't know what I was doing. that's like super off. I have no idea what I was doing. Okay. All right, so you should have your 4 lines. All right, and then you wanna, then you wanna do your pattern piece 4 and 5. So you're gonna trace 4 out, make sure it's on the fold. Those 2 arrows is on the fold. And then you're going to trace this out. For this one, make sure you do your triangle slits. Or your lines for your triangles. And then we'll put slits on them to make sure that we are matching these pattern pieces up correctly. So pattern piece 5 has 2 triangles. And pattern piece 4 has 2 triangles. Alright, and then you can, sorry, my back is itching. You can remove all your pieces. And get to cutting. So once you cut them, and you make sure you keep your 1 and 2 out. Zipper. I'm not going to use an invisible zipper. I'm going to just use a regular polyester zipper. Because I'm just using what I have at the house. So if you want to do an invisible zipper, you would have to find another video that'll show you how to put in one, then come back to my video, or you can just follow me and just learn how to put in a basic zipper. All right, so what you're gonna want to do is go to the sewing machine and sew all the way down to the tip of your fabric. But first you want to pin it. So take your pins, and then I just realized that I did not cut on the grain line of my fabric, which is what I was whispering about. So typically when you wear clothes, you know, you have stretch. My fabric does have stretch, but my stretch is going up and down because I didn't pay attention to my stretch and my grain line. The plus side is these are non-stretch pants anyways, so they're still gonna fit me. But like if you do that and the pattern is like for a stretch material, but you don't cut out with the stretch going the right way, then you probably totally ruined it and it'll be too small because it won't stretch. With these, I have done them, like they are for non-stretch, and I have done them with non-stretch, so I like know it's still gonna work, although my stretch is going the wrong way, which is still like, because it would have been nice if I did it right. But it's not anything you have to worry about because these are for non-stretch. This is for non-stretch material anyways. So don't worry about that. So you're gonna go to the sewing machine and you're gonna sew all the way down to the like crotch area. And I do have matching thread, which I suppose I'll switch to and use. As far as how to thread your machine, if you like to like personally ask me, I can see if I can help you out. But it all depends on what sewing machine you buy. Most of them are threaded the same, so I wouldn't have a problem or shouldn't have a problem with showing you if you need help. But like the manual does a pretty good job at showing you how to string your sewing machine. So basically when I'm sewing, I just sew on, like if I can, I just sew on the line that I made when I'm sewing. But sometimes that line is on the back side and I can't see it. So on your sewing machine, and I'll show you, where you should sew for your seam allowance. Typically, I just line it up with the foot of the sewing machine. Sewn together like this. So these are the back part of your pants. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna take this to the ironing board. You're gonna open up this seam and you're gonna sew that flat, open and flat, this right here. Let me get it. All right. Your seam should be open like, and I might have to cut on the light because now I'm getting dark outside. My lighting isn't so great anymore. It's all cloudy. All right, so your seam should be open just like this. And you're gonna get your zipper. You're going to place it on this. You wanna make sure that the like zipper piece right here is on top of the seam, the line going down the middle. So you want to make sure you start it where the extra, you have the extra right here on the top. Make sure that's poking out. And you place it perfectly in the middle. And you're going to need to pin it in place. I just kind of like pin on one side, pin on the other side, pin on one side, pin on the other side. All right, so it should look like that. And you're going to need what's called a zipper foot. So your zipper foot looks like this. All right, so when you go, you have to go look for a zipper foot because this is how you put your zippers on. I don't even think it's possible to do it with a regular foot, and if it is, I have no idea how to do it. So you definitely need a zipper foot. just make individual videos on how to use these, mostly because I lost my stand, my little stand for the phone to put it up here. So I'm gonna probably put these two videos like in the beginning or the end, or make a whole nother video, and then you just make sure you watch those two when it's related to this, because I can't get my life right and keep up with stuff. Alright, so I think this is lined up right because I had to turn around the camera in order for it to be zoomed in. So you want your zipper to be on the opposite side of the foot. The foot should be resting on like the edge, and then your needle should be as close to this middle part as possible without actually sewing on it, or you're gonna sew your zipper closed. So I'm going to actually make sure that I'm gonna start actually under my zipper, and then I'm gonna go back over it because it's hard trying to sew over that little zipper hump. So I'm gonna go back and I'll show you that too. Go back and do it. So you want to make sure that your needle is as close to that middle, the middle as possible, and you're gonna just sew all the way till you get to the silver part, which is like this little part of your zipper. You're gonna stop like a little above there. Make sure you backstitch. So on your sewing machine, there's a button that, okay, you can't see that. There's a button that is like a U arrow, and that's your backstitch. I think I need like somebody to record me so they can do all the zooming in and out. See, like, I think I just sewed on top of my, oh, yep, I did it again. Because you can hear the crunch. So what's gonna happen, and I'll show you, is that I won't be able to unzip my zipper once I hit that part, because I've sewn on top of the zipper. And I'm going to have to go back in there and undo the stitch. So you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Make sure you back stitch. Back stitch at the end. Perfect. So you want to pull that out. Now you want to zip the zipper down some so that you can go back in and sew this top piece down. All right, so you want to start at the tippy top. You want to back stitch, and then you want to sew. You can get the zipper if you're able and zip it back up to where it's at the top, so you can continue to sew in as straight as a line possible to your last stitch. Alright, and it probably won't be perfect like mine was not. Oh great, I forgot. Sorry guys, this is like my first DIY slash this is what I get for being lazy and not changing the bottom thread. So my stitching on the outside, make sure you can see this. My stitching on the outside is white and the one on the inside is yellow because I didn't change my thread at the bottom, which I'm not upset about because there's yellow in this and it's not noticeable. But you do want to make sure that you cut all these extra excess threads and make it look nice and neat. So another handy dandy tool that you're gonna need is a seam ripper. Rip the seams out. So what you have to do is go into where you stitched, because now we need to reveal our zipper. Sorry, it's all like and I guess I'm kind of okay actually with the yellow not showing because it's not that great of a match like I thought it was anyways. Oh, hold on, I done lost my stitch. So when you're doing that stitch, you definitely don't want to back stitch at the top because it's going to make it a lot harder to unstitch. Alright, so now we're revealing our zipper. I think I forgot a back stitch. Oh, I didn't do the other side. Make sure you do the other side when you go back to redo the top. Make sure you do the second side. And I'm probably gonna edit this video so where you're gonna be like, what you talking about? You did the other side. To where I actually did the other side. So you're gonna be like, what? So make sure you go back and do that side or else it will look crazy like this. Yeah, actually with the seam ripper, you're supposed to be able to go in with the ball side down and rip the seam all the way down. But you want to be careful about that because sometimes you can get a little too happy and then you will actually rip your fabric. So if you feel like that's what you're gonna do, be patient about it and then just rip like a little bit at a time. Also, another thing I would have showed you, but I feel like maybe it would have been too much, especially if you're a beginner, is you can do wider stitches. I would have typically did a wider stitch, so then when I come back in here to unstitch, the stitches are not as tight and close together, so it's a heck of a lot easier to undo. So you definitely want to do that if you know how to change, if you know how to change the stitch length. Alright, so you're gonna stop it where you back stitched at the bottom. And I'm about to sew my other side on scissors. So I go in and I cut my little random pieces of thread that's just poking out all over the place. Just snip it away. I don't know what I did right there, but I'm gonna have to go back in and fix it. so got your zipper. Alright, so you have your zipper in. Alright, you should be able to zip it down, zip it up. Make sure you didn't snag any of your zipper on the inside, and then that's how your back side looks. Alright, so that was kind of like the most difficult part, I believe. The rest of it is not so bad. So now you want to get your front pieces and you want to stitch down till you get to that like you did your back piece. Alright, so you want to make sure it's lined up. Is I should have worked on the pleats first. Okay, so I'm sorry, we're gonna take this part back. So what we're gonna work on is the pleats. Alright, so should have probably did that on the front side first too, but it doesn't really matter. Alright, so for your pleats, what you need is so it's going to be hard for you to see my lines, but you're going to take the first line, you're going to overlap it on the line that's beside it. All right, and then you're going to pin that together, which I'm standing on the opposite side, so it's kind of hard for me to pin like this. Alright, and then you're going to take that next line and you're going to overlap it on the last line. Okay. And if you need to like redraw your dot on the top part so you can know where to stop, you might want to do that. Alright, so like when you turn it around, you see your pleats on the front end, so you want to make sure they're even, like up here at the top. And I want to be sure that I'm folding the pleats in the right way, because they should be facing out. So this is your front, this is your middle section. So you want to make sure that these pleats are going to the right. So I believe that I did this backwards. Alright, so you want to do your pleats. Alright, so you have your left side and your right side. So I can see my lines through my pattern, like either way I drew it. So what you want is to overlap, like where your one line is, you want it to lap over to the other line. Okay? And you want your pleats to be going like the opposite way on each pant leg, and you want them to be going to your right. So if you flip this piece, because if your lines are on the back and they're not see-through, you want to make sure that this line that's on the straight side, like the not crotch side, is bought to the line beside it, you know, going this way. So put a And then if you need to put that dot so you know where to stop, put the dot on the outside where you can see it, so you'll know where to stop sewing. Alright, so pin that. Can't get my pin in. Make sure your top is lined up as well. Which mine isn't. And it's weird because I'm like on this side and I'm not left-handed, so it's weird. So I'm just going to have to pin down because it's hard for me to get the pin in going up. Struggling too much. More than I like to be struggling. Alright, and then you take that second line and you overlap it, or the next line and you overlap it, which is your third line. You overlap it on the fourth line. So you overlap the first line to the second line, then the third line to the fourth line. Oh, why do I still feel like I did this the wrong daggone way? Ugh. Oh. Sorry, I didn't. I forgot that I flipped the fabric over. Thought I was looking at the front side. I'm looking at the back side. Alright, so then when you flip it over, you know, you have your pleats going, this way. Alright, and you do the same to the other side. Alright, so for the other one, you make sure you go opposite way. And so that you'll know which side I did for what, I'm going to lay it out and then you can see it all together. Because this one is my left leg. So for the left leg, the first one we did for the left leg, you make sure the pleats are going to the right. And then for your right leg, you make sure the pleats are going to your left. And hopefully I did not say that backwards. Alright, so when you flip it over, your pleat should be going towards the straight end of your pants. So you know you got your crouch side and then you got like the outside leg side. So you want to make sure your pleats are pointing towards the outside, if that makes sense. I'm trying to say it all types of different ways so you can get what I'm saying. So when you do it with the crouch, like in the middle, you make sure this side going that way, this side is going that way, and hopefully that made sense. Alright, so you're going to go to the sewing machine, and on the back side you're going to stitch. I'm going to make sure I redraw my dot so that I know where to stop. Well, maybe I'm not, because I don't know what my pencil is. I'll just use regular pencil. So I'm gonna draw my dot here, so I know to stop right there, and then for here I'm gonna draw my dot right here, so I know to stop there. Same for the other side. If you can't see your dot, make sure you like kind of pencil it back in so you know where to stop. All right, so I'm gonna stop here, and then here I'm stopping there. All right, so go to the sewing machine, sew like down your pleat from the top all the way to your dot. Oh, you didn't get to see me sew regular, so gonna change back to my regular foot. Alright, so I have switched from my zipper foot back to my regular foot. You're sewing on the top of the fabric. This time my yellow is gonna show because the top of this is yellow. Alright, you're going to put it down at the top. You're going to start sewing. You're going to back stitch and then sew down. You're going to stop at the dot, back stitch, alright, and you have one pleat. Oh, sorry. So this is what your pleat should look like. Then you do the other one. Make sure you back stitch. Whoa. Alright. Darn it, sorry. I did not want to do what I just did. But I feel like I started drifting, so where did you guys go?
I want to go check out this place.
So it's messy up until I cut the pieces out. And send that on Facebook. Alright, so that's your 2 pleats. And do the other side. I'm going to come here. I'm going to remove this because I put it in backwards. So I'm just gonna hold on to my pleat. Alright, so I'm gonna sew forward and then back stitch. And sew. Then I'm a back stitch at my pleat. Alright, y'all, so this is like a whole nother time from the first half of my video. I got lazy and I didn't finish it. I'm just playing. I'm not sure if I got lazy. I probably did because I never finished it. But I'm sure something happened at the time and I had to stop and I just never started. Anyways, we stopped at the pleating. So here are the pleats. That's for one side. That's the other. This is the front. And then the back. Okay, it don't look like I ever did the back. So I showed you in the last video how to do it. So I'm about to go and, oh wait. You know what, guys? I don't even know. I'm confused. If I think I told you in the last video to do your back pleats, I'm not going to do back pleats because I don't feel like going through that again. So if you want back pleats, do them. I don't really care for back pleats. I like the front ones. They're fine. I can live without the back ones. And if these make my pants bigger because I didn't do my pleats, then I'll just take it in. All right, so let's work on this front piece here. So this is the inside of my fabric. That's the outside of my fabric. So I'm gonna have my bottom piece laying face up. All right, and sorry, my camera is wobbly because I got a new little stand. And it's one of those little flexi stands, so it kind of moves when I move my table. But I like this one better because it clips on anything. And it's easier to maneuver. So I will try to stop the shaking when I can or notice it. And then you're gonna lay the second piece inside up, sorry. So the bottom piece is, you should see the outside of your fabric. The top piece, you should see the inside of your fabric, and they're on top of each other. All right? So you are going to, and I'm sorry if I am rambling, like, I literally have not did this video in probably months, but I decided I wanted to finish these pants. And because I started the video, I figured I might as well finish it. So you're going to pin the crotch area. This is the crotch part. And you're going to pin it and sew it. It's a lot less complicated if I don't take you to the sewing machine. But I suppose I could take you to the sewing machine. Because if I would have thought about it, when I got my table made, I got a table made for all of my machines, I would have asked them to leave a lip so that I can clip this new little phone holding gadget. But I didn't think about it. Not until I got it and tried to clip it and realized, OMG, I should have asked for that. So anyways, you put your pins there. And then let's move to the sewing table. All right. So because I have the camera pointing towards, I have the selfie camera on. It won't zoom in, but I think you can see it good enough. I hope so. All right, so anyways, I'm just going to sew down the crotch. Yeah, sorry. Make sure you back stitch. And I like to move my thread out of the way. Alright, and make sure you back stitch on the end as well. So, when you open it, you have the front side of your pants. How exciting! Alright, let's go back to the table. Alright. Okay, so these are the bottom. This is the back of the pants. So let me cut this. You want to take this is the outside. It's facing up just like we just did the last time. And you want to spread them out. Alright, and then you're going to take the front side of your pants. You want the inside facing up, and you're going to line it up to the top. Alright, so let's see. Y'all, did we cut a band in the last one? I kind of zoom through some of the videos because if not, we're gonna definitely need a band. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, and get your pins. We are going to do it doesn't really matter which one you do first. We'll do the inside of the pants first. All right, so you're gonna, let me turn this. Place it down. All right, I think that's good. Sorry, I'm trying to stop it from shaking. All right, so You're going to start at the crotch. You got your bottom piece, you got your top piece. And you're going to put it together right where your two, where you sew meets. And you're going to pin that down, right? So that's pinned. Then we're going to go down one leg. We're going to pin all the way down. All the way down. Sorry, it's just the shaking. Hope I ain't getting anybody seasick out there. That was probably childish to me to say. Alright. Then, I mean, if your ends don't match, it's okay. It ends up getting cut even and hemmed. That's why I always try to make the bottom of my pants like a lot longer. Or not a lot longer, a little bit longer than the pattern. So just in case, for whatever reason, my stuff doesn't line up, I have room to play. Especially if you're a tall person, you want to definitely make sure you give yourself some length and some room to mess up. I'm definitely not a perfect seamstress. You know, you learn as you go. Right. Sorry, I didn't even talk this one through. I went to the other leg and started pinning down, if you didn't notice, sorry. So I made it down to the second leg, so you should have both sides on the inside of your pants pinned. Then we're going to start sewing from the crouch down one leg. Then you're going to start back at the crouch down the other leg. So let's go back to the sewing machine. And this is why I like this gadget a lot better than my other one, because I just can unclip it and move it. It's so convenient. Let me face you the right way. Move it down, down, down. Alright. So we're going to start at the crouch. Don't matter what side you go down first. Whichever one floats your boat. Alright. Slide this in here. And voila. Pull that first pin out and start sewing. Make sure you backstitch. You do mess up so much that when you are doing right, you like, I had to do something wrong because this is going too perfect. And even I looked at the video, I was like, oh my gosh, I took my time and I did good and I didn't really mess up. All right, so it seems as though all is well. So you want to try to lay it back out how you had it the first time. And because now we have to pin the sides. So I feel like if I turn the opposite way, the lighting would be better because my window is that way. So let's see if that looks better, guys. I hope so. Yeah, I think it does look better. Yeah. You know what, my sides don't match up as well, probably because, I don't know, like I said, I did this on 2 totally separate occasions. So it's either because I did not hem my back side. Oh, it's not even that, it's my front side that's wider than my back. So actually I have no idea why. Sometimes I will still match it because it just depends on you, really. Let's see how I want to do this, because what it's doing is taking account of your hips and stuff. But I did a 4, and I have done this pattern one time, but I can't remember if I can fit those pants. You know, I went on my little weight gain journey, and now I'm like, I can't remember. And then these patterns sometimes run small anyways. So I think I'm gonna try it this way, and then if it does not work out, you just redo it. All right, so I'm gonna line up my sides anyways, regardless of the fact that they don't quite line up. Now maybe if I would have cut it on the stretch, then I wouldn't worry about it, because I know it will give me some wiggle room to stretch just in case these pants are a little bigger. I know some people are like, a size 4, but I mean, compared to the size I was, I don't realize like the weight I gained, I guess, when it comes to the size I wear. And so then I'll put on something that I wore before I gained my little bit of weight and I can't fit it. So then I look at stuff and like, oh, I can fit that, and then I can't really fit it. So give myself the benefit of the doubt and not cut any fabric off of this. Because the thing is, when you cut it off, you can't put it back. So you much rather it be too big and make it smaller than it be too small and then it's just too small. Then you can just pass it on down to a cousin. All that hard work you put in making it, you can't even fit it. Especially if you get them on and then you can't zip it. That's the worst. I think that's exactly what happened to the last pants I made like this. I think I can't zip them. Or if I do, I wouldn't be able to sit down. All right, so one side.
So when I look back at this, it's going to annoy me that it's rocking. So yes, you're going to pin down the other side like we just did.
Now, we are almost done. Except for this band. I had to dig this out of my fabric box, which I have like 3 totes of those. And now I have to look back at the video and see whether I made a band, because we are definitely gonna need it. So hopefully I find it and then I don't have to stop this video and then make it again, finish it 3 months later. That would suck. All right, so I'll be back. All right, y'all, so y'all know, like I said, this is me doing this, finishing this video months later. I have no idea where the band is. I have no idea where the extra fabric is from this. Maybe there wasn't any left over, that's why I can't find it. I have no idea where the band is. But if you're following this video from the beginning, then you already cut your band out. Great. So what you're gonna do, let me see if I can at least show you like what you would do if you had a band. All right. You would, let me see. I'm just gonna have to use this shirt, I suppose. You're going to have your pants where the right side, like you're looking at the outside of your pants. All right, and then you cut this band, right? So say you had this band. You're going to turn the band so that it is the wrong side of the fabric, right? So you got the wrong side on top of the right side. Okay? Let's turn this because it's too much light. Let's go this way. All right, I'm just using the bottom of the pants now because I guess that's easier. All right, and then you're going to line it up all the way around to the back of the zipper. Okay, and then you're going to sew it down. Then when you sew it, you're going to fold it in, and so then it will be folded in like that, and then you iron it down to flatten it out. So basically what it is hemming the top of your pants for you without you actually having to go in and hem it. I'm going to go in and hem it because I cannot find I just can't find the band. I have no idea where it is. So I'm going to use my hemming, what do you call that thing? Sorry. I'm going to use my hemming foot and I'm going to hem all the way around. And then I'm going to be done with mine. You can do the same thing, but if I were you, I would use the band that I cut out in the beginning. And, yeah, just use that all the way around. And it will also fold in your zipper, because you see how we have the extra zipper back here. You can cut that off actually. And so I'm gonna go to my machine and I'm gonna sew it down, and then I'll be done with that part. So will you. And then we also have the bottom of our pants. So what you're gonna do at the bottom of your pants is you're going to, like on this side, it's not even. So I'm just going to get my fabric scissors and I'm going to cut it even across, and then I'm going to hem the bottom. I am using a hammer foot to do all of this, but if you do not have one, you get your iron, you set it up, you fold, all right? It's easier if it is even, all right? So, or if you do it right side in. So you're gonna fold and iron and fold and iron, all right? Make sure you do this on the inside of your pants. So you fold, iron, all the way around, okay? And then that'll give you your hem. And the reason why I'm not showing you that is because I am not doing that. I am going to just use my hemming foot because this is some really like soft fabric and I'm able to use it. And hemming, I'm pretty sure if you're a seamstress, unless you absolutely love hemming, I haven't ran into too many people and that's their favorite part, typically don't like to hem. So make sure you do the same thing to your other side of your pants. You know, you cut your, but I have heard, you know, some people say they love to hem. I can't do it. I probably couldn't be like a tailor too much because, you know, they always have to like tailor clothes, which is, I just can't. All right, so once again, you get to your iron, you would fold, iron, fold, iron, and then you can pin it in place if you like, but typically, I mean, you iron it good enough, it stays, but you can pin some pieces, you know, sporadically all the way across just to keep it together. All right, so once again, I'm going to go hem the bottom of this, and I'm going to go hem the top of my pants since I no longer have my band. It's still going to look like yours, except for I'm going to have a line or hem going across the top of mine where you won't, because your band is basically your hem. All right, and when I come back, it'll be the finished look. Okay, so I figured I could show you what the roll hem looks like, or the hammer foot. It's really not, it's not that easy of a, let me see if I can scoot this down some. Not that easy of a hem to use at first, but once you learn how to use it, it is the best. Uh-oh, sorry. Trying to see how I can arrange this. All right, I think maybe this is the best I'm gonna get. Hopefully my hands are not in the way. So this is the bottom of my pants. I've already hemmed everything else. So because this is just a circle, it doesn't really matter where I start. What you just want to try to do is get this hem like rolled in there. There's this little piece right here and it rolls in, so it rolls the whole piece in. And so you know you're good. You have to kind of keep your fabric over here on this side, and you start sewing. All right, and you keep your fabric kind of, you know, going to one side because it needs to cover this little silver piece right here. So keep your fabric covered there and keep it smoothed out. And this is just kind of the road bump when you have to kind of flatten that out, because that's where you sew the two pieces together. But most of the time it'll go in there smoothly. If it doesn't, I kind of stop and I open it up and I kind of try to just slide it in there the best way I can. Just so that it stays down and out of the way. All right, so make sure you keep that above the silver part. And really, those two are like the hardest part to go over part way. I think it's 4 of them. Because of that. And then you don't want to get too happy and start going too fast, because then you start messing up. So because I'm using this fabric, or this type of fabric, is really like slinky. I like to use the roll hem because I don't care for the thicker hem look. It almost looks kind of invisible with the roll hem. The hem does. So as long as you're feeding it. Basically complete. Yay. Let me get my scissors so I can cut the pieces, and then see, I look totally different from the beginning of the video. So there's the front. You know, you have your zipper. You want to cut all your excess threads out of the way. So this is what my top looks like. Where is it? Okay, I had to just hem the top. And voila, these are your pants. So they're cute. Alright, so I'm gonna try these on. Although they're looking like they look big, and I'll see you in a bit.